So a question that gets, probably asked a lot, depending on the franchise and the characters involved, is why do fans ship certain characters with other characters? Now, I know I've probably asked this before, but in the case of Sonic the Hedgehog, mostly Archie Sonic, everybody's always wondering why ship certain characters with each other or with others, I should say, when it's pretty much established, that they're with this character or they're with that character and vice versa, whatever the case may be. And I think, honestly, the reason they do it is because it's preference. It's all about a preference. Like, fans feel that this character is most suitable to be with that character and vice versa. And in the case of Sonic and Bunnie, that's no different. I mean, this is something that, I'm going to be honest with you, has been on the minds of a lot of fans since the days of Sonic Sat AM. Even though a lot of us fans knew and were cool and very supportive of Sonic being with Sally, there was always that thought in the back of our minds of what would happen if Sonic was with Bunnie. Now, we kind of got a hint of that in 150, although unbeknownst to us and in story Bunnie herself, basically the Sonic she was with was evil Sonic, the one that would go on to be Scourge. And the reason that happened is because the one that would be known as Scourge wanted to get away from his Moebius or Moebius, as they call it, Moebius world, and away from his version, his evil version of the Freedom Fighters, who wanted him gone anyway. And all he wanted was to just run around, have chili dogs, have all the babes in the world, just be himself, just be what he feels Sonic should be, to an extent. But with that said, like I said, unbeknownst to us and in story Bunnie, before that revelation at the end of 150, we kind of got a tease of what that could be. We even got a tease about a few issues later. You see, the character known as Adam, who would play a major part later on, tried to assimilate Bunnie into its programming because she was half cybernetic. Sonic came to her aid by basically convincing Adam that what you're doing is you're trying to assimilate something that's not fully cybernetic and is mostly organic. How does that compute kind of deal? Basically, he brought a scenario to the Adam AI that what you're trying to do is assimilate a creature that is not 100% cybernetic. So by doing so, he was able to get Adam to release her and basically unassimilate her. And as a reward, she ends up kissing Sonic on the lips. Now you might say, well, Sonic looked like he was cool with it, right? That is true. But according to the artist, basically from a behind-the-scenes perspective, the original drawing, if you will, or description, was that Sonic was supposed to have his eyes open, kind of like a little surprise that she did it. But you also have to remember at this time, she, along with the rest of us, thought she and Antron were done, were kaput. But once again, it's revealed that wasn't the case because we find out that the Antron that kaputted the relationship was the evil version of Antron, Patch. But still, we got moments like that in the series, even if they were short, brief little moments that basically were because of certain situations. However, this is not the first time, we would kind of get a glimpse of that. I mean, get this. So 217 and 18 came along a lot later in the series. Bunnie and Sonic are teaming up, right? So Bunnie and Sonic team up, and And you get this moment where they're holding hands, thinking about, okay, what can we do to solve the situation without, constantly, keeping, without constantly beating the heck out of each other for no stupid reason. It's like, what can we do to basically, make it a win-win for everybody? And then you get them realizing, hey, got it. And then you got them holding hands because, they're fighting, but you have them holding hands. They got this look on their face. And a lot of people are like, a lot of people, again, like I said, they look at that and they're like, man, that is something that I would have loved to have seen happen. Like, I would have loved to have seen a romance between those two. And you even got them holding hands as they're going back to New Mobotropolis. However, this was after Bunnie and Antoine were married. But if you put that aside, in the eyes of a lot of folks, this pretty much is like another tease, and by Ian Flynn, of all people, another tease at what potentially could be, even though, like I said, it takes place after she's married to Antoine. But, again, there's a lot of other moments. Like in the video I talked about earlier, the high school deal, a lot of the issues kept the characters in what would be known as their high school designs. So Bunnie had a Daisy Duke-like outfit given to her because of this, and she teamed up with Sonic. And of course, she was like the first to notice Sonic was trying to sneak off and everything, and instead of trying to argue against him about it, she helped him out. And again, it's dynamics like that that always made fans wonder, what if? What if Bunnie and Sonic were together? And when you really think about it, in the first season of the show, the animated show, people, like I said, even back at that time, fans were thinking about what if. I mean, one episode that really kind of like, puts that into perspective is Ultrasonic. The premise is that basically they split up into two teams after temporarily reviving Uncle Chuck out of his brainwashed Robotnik-controlled state, right? So they temporarily get Uncle Chuck back, and Uncle Chuck comes up with the plan of separating into two teams. And the team he's a part of comprises of himself, Sonic, and Bunnie. Okay, cool. And everybody liked that. They loved seeing that team up. They really did. They even, liked it when Bunnie came to Sonic's aid when it looked like he was about to fall off this trap box. And what is it? Sonic Past Cool, I think? Yeah, Sonic Past Cool. They even liked that. Heck, they even liked, in the beginning of the episode when they're trying to work on Bunnie's extendo legs, when she crashes through the roof and everything, Sonic goes up to help her, and then the next time she comes through the roof, almost immediately, seconds after, he holds on to her and says, "Gotcha, Bunnie," and she thanks him. And it's all these kind of moments, if you will, that really had fans wondering, what if? What if? And it's not just that either. When Bunnie came to his aid before the Sally clone could basically finish him off, a lot of people liked that. They liked the fact that she came to his aid. And then they liked the little part at the end where basically they'll hoist it up. And basically Sonic, thanks her for helping out, and Bunnie's complimentary saying, out of everything, she's got one thing that no robot could ever have, and that's a heart and a mind of her own. And of course they did that, and then they do the little fist bump kind of deal, a little like that little handshake, whatever, that little secret handshake bump, whatever. And again, it makes people wonder, what if? And this is back in 93. Back in 93, if you will. It's just one of those scenarios that, you think to yourself, what, how could they pass up opportunities like this? I mean, a lot of people would look at, that time post 134, post 134, if you will, as we're building back up, to, Antoine's eventual return at the end of 156, the marriage, and as time goes on, the rebuilding of Sonic and Sally's relationship up to, the friendship first, and then up to a relationship, I should say. The rebuilding of it, the patching up and all that. A lot of people look at, let's say, those 22-something issues, and they wonder, well, why didn't they try it? Why, just, tease us with, a moment with, with the fake Sonic that we find out at the end of 150, who we thought was the real Sonic, but wasn't. And why tease us with that little moment, towards the end of the main story in 154, I believe, 154. Why tease us with those moments if you're not going to go and do something with it? I mean, the way Bunnie comes to the aid of Sonic during the Triple Trouble story arc, or Triple Threat story arc, by thrashing Mecha, as she's called, it's like, the way she comes to his aid, it's like almost, again, you wonder, why didn't they take advantage, right? And, that is a good question. But again, I can bring all these up, all these, scenarios and moments to, that made people, and even make people today wonder, what if, or why didn't they do it? And then nowadays, you look at something like this, which Riz Ramirez did, and what's her name, Tamika, here on Twitter, I should say, who's part of the Sega Saturn Twitter page, was going to save to upload there, but it was too beautiful, very replication of what Spaz would do on the book. When you see that someone like her or fans like them are part of Sega Saturn, and you wonder, what is Sega Saturn, right? Well, Sega Saturn, according to the description for its Twitter page, is a reimagining of the Sonic the Hedgehog stories, like, basically newer characters or different, settings, different possibilities. Basically, an equivalent of what Marvel's doing right now on Disney Plus and what they had been known to do in the comic book series in which the show is based off of, and that's a what-if scenario. And in this case, the picture that Ramirez, drew in the style of Spaz is basically a reimagining of what if it was Bunnie that was Sonic's girl? What if it was Bunnie in Sally's position? What if it was Bunnie that kissed Sonic upon his return, knowing that, kind of believing but not really admitting of whether or not she knew he was going to be alive or come back or whatever. It's a what-if scenario. And again, I base these kind of things off a lot of what you've seen in the comics, what you've seen a lot of, not much of, I should say, but at certain moments in the show, and it just again makes people wonder, what if? And also during certain periods of the book, like let's say the 130s to 156, between the 130s and 156, make them wonder, why didn't they? Why didn't they try? Kind of deal. Why didn't they, at least test it out and see what happens? Because when you think about it, Sonic and Bunnie is not the only kind of couple out there. There's a lot of couples in established IPs, if you will, where the obvious romance between the hero and a certain female character, is going to happen, and everybody's cool with it. But you always have that scenario of, what if this character got with the female character? What would happen there? What if that happened? What if the lead character, the leader, the hero, got with another female character that everybody loved? it's always about what if and the possibilities of what could come of it. And that's why when anybody, even if they're portraying the character online, this is why when anybody asks, why do you keep shipping said character with that character and vice versa, is because you're looking at reimaginings, what if scenarios, and by thinking of these reimagining and what if scenarios, you wonder, and thus that wonderment becomes ideas and all that for future fanfics or whatever. You wonder what the outcomes would be in the long run. So for anybody asking, why do fans keep shipping Bunnie with Sonic and vice versa? Because it's a look at it's basically the version of what if. It's the version of what if because they're reimagining what it would be like if certain roles were taken over by other characters. But that's all I'm going to say on it, guys. What are your thoughts overall? Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are, as well as in the live chat during the premiere. Like the video. Check out my Teespring store. Check me out on Patreon at BW Roses, as well as BW Roses Discussions at all your favorite audio podcast locations except for Pandora, as well as check me out at BW Roses on Vimeo. But again, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments and in the comments below, as well as during the live chat or in the live chat during the premiere. And I will talk to y'all later. God bless. Take care. I'm out.